Do not move to San Francisco yet. Today I'm going to tell you 6 things that you need to know before you move to the city. I'm Clay Gjevre. Deals close in almost every neighborhood. This is what I tell people before they sign anything. One of these 6 is going to surprise you, even if you think you've done your research. Rent, mortgage, groceries, utilities, none of it is getting cheaper. The average 1-bedroom apartment is $3,200 a month in rent. That's before utilities and before groceries, gas, all those things are more expensive here. What really costs you are the other 5 things on this list. So our fog here in San Francisco has a name. It's Carl, and we talk about him like he's a difficult neighbor. He's always showing up, he's never invited, and he never leaves on time. San Francisco is between 55 and 70 almost all year round. We really live by layers, and it can go, by the way, from 70 to 55 in like an hour's time. So layers are important. You got to bring a jacket. You need a t-shirt with another shirt on top of it. Always have a sweater. Learn to tie something around your waist. You can be hanging out in the Mission and then going to a friend's house out in the outer Sunset, and there will be a 15-degree difference, maybe even more sometimes. Carl, along with our world-famous hills, create microclimates all over the city. I think someone told me there's 12 microclimates in our 49 square miles, because the city is 7 miles by 7 miles. Every person that lives here knows this. If you've got a north-facing apartment in the Sunset, you're not going to get direct sun, you're going to get a lot of fog, it's going to be cold, you're going to have a heating bill. If you're in the Mission and you're south-facing, it's going to get hot, and you might need an air conditioner, which we don't always have in San Francisco. Same city, 2 miles apart, completely different life. I remember moving here from Southern California, and I looked out my window and it was sunny, and I just got up and took off with no jacket or anything. I was frozen, chilled to the bone by 4 o'clock. This one catches people off guard a lot. We do not always have parking here. You could end up paying $350 to $500 a month if your building doesn't have parking. And our tickets are really expensive, $100 for street parking tickets. Everybody misses one eventually, so you will miss one. And everyone who's ever parked on the street here gets this evening panic, and we all know it, where you're at home, you're having dinner, or maybe you're getting ready for bed, and you remember that it's street cleaning tomorrow, and you start doing the math in your head. Should I go move it now and circle the blocks, or can I get up early enough in the morning, and will I remember to move it in the morning? It's really hard. You know, we do have a transit system that actually works if you're located in the right area. We've got Muni, we've got buses, we've got the underground, we've got Caltrain and BART. If you want to go car light, you've got to pick a good neighborhood that you can walk to a lot of amenities in, grocery stores, etc. Be near transit, and you fill in the gaps with Uber, Lyft, Waymo, Zoox. Going without a car in San Francisco can save you on average about $8,000 a year, and that's about 3 months rent, so that's no joke. For most people moving here, the math will strongly favor letting go of the car. It really depends on the lifestyle that you're looking for. The neighborhoods everybody wants are full of beautiful old buildings, Edwardians, Victorians. I'll do a whole video about that in the future, so please subscribe and I'll get to it. Great character, but character comes with trade-offs. There's a lot of things with these old buildings you might not be thinking of. Some are pretty obvious, like in-unit laundry, in-building laundry. Do you have to go to a laundromat? We do have to do that sometimes here. Does it have a dishwasher? Look at the closets. How much closet space do they have? Individually, all these things aren't probably deal breakers, but you combine them all together and it's just a lot of daily friction. There are newer options in Soma, South Beach, Mission Bay, but the neighborhoods are a completely different vibe and not probably what you were thinking about for San Francisco. Again, great for some people. Every neighborhood and has a different trade-off for different lifestyles. My strategy would be to pick your neighborhood first, and then go ahead and try to find the type of floor plan and apartment that you want, and be able to make some sacrifices if you need to. If you're buying a condo or a single family home in San Francisco, you've got to bear in mind they are older buildings. You could have knob and tube wiring issues, galvanized plumbing, soft story retrofit, earthquake upgrades that I'm talk about that in a second. These will affect your insurance, retrofit costs, just long-term spending over the years. 2 more left, and number 6 is the one that tells you whether the city actually works for you and your daily life. This is the one everyone waves off. It's also the one that deserves the most attention if you're buying. The U.S. Geological Survey puts the probability of a magnitude 6.7 or higher earthquake in the next 30 years at 63%. 63%. That's not remote or theoretical. It's probably going to happen. If you're renting, you need to find out if your building has been retrofitted, if it needs to be. You need a go bag. It sounds crazy, but I have one. Everybody should have one. You can buy them already built and put together. If you're buying, this is something to really look at. Did they have any soft story retrofits? Did they do cripple wall bracing, foundation bolting? There's no earthquake safety rating, right? There's no, you're on a scale of 1 to 10, you're this. There's just a bunch of different stuff they could do. So it is complicated. It really is. And when you're buying, it can be especially complicated. Okay, and then land is also a thing. So Noe Valley, Inner Sunset, lots of areas of the city are on bedrock. But areas like the marina are on what we call liquefaction. These are landfill. There's a lot of areas throughout the city that are on landfill, and there's maps, and you can Google all that. I work with a lot of buyers, and some of them really have a thing with earthquakes. Most of them really don't, to be honest. But it is just about going in eyes wide open to what the risks are going to be for you. Is San Francisco safe in 2026? That's the most searched question about the city. The short answer is it depends on where you are. We've had a lot of improvements with safety here, but the one thing that is still so visible, that is so hard to swallow, is the homelessness. Homelessness is really visible downtown, at the Civic Center, Tenderloin, transit hubs. All of this kind of comes down to the fentanyl crisis and the housing shortage, and neither of those things are solved here in San Francisco, though we are making progress. The media coverage is really misleading. It's so alarming and over the top. They don't show the different block by block realities. They'll show you the Tenderloin, but most of us don't experience that. Every day I will see the same homeless person, and it breaks my heart every day a little bit. It is an emotional tax. And at the same time, it's also faded into the background for me. These two things exist at the same time. It's really messed up. Okay, when you're looking at homes and you think about buying somewhere, do a 4-point test: morning, midday, evening, and late night. And if you can, do it in the weekday and the weekend. The listing tells you what a place costs on paper. Those visits will tell you what it actually costs to live there. So if you made it this far, you need to really hear about the pros as well as the cons. So watch this next video that's up on the screen. And if you are done with your investigating and you want to talk a little bit more about moving here to San Francisco, I would love to have a conversation with you. I have it with buyers every day. All my information is in the description below. I'll see you at the next one.